Today we're going to talk about IRS Form 4564. How do you respond to information document requests in advance of an audit without creating tax fraud risk? Listen, IRS Form 4564 may look like a simple request for documents. It's not. It is a formal information document request, commonly called an IDR in the industry. And how you go about responding can determine whether the audit stays a routine civil examination or becomes something much more dangerous. Hi, I'm David W. Klasing. I'm a dual licensed tax attorney CPA, and I've additionally earned a master's degree in taxation. Tax is my life. I'm the owner of the tax law offices of David W. Klasing, and we currently have 24 offices in 11 states to serve you nationwide and internationally. Today I'm going to explain what Form 4564 really is, what they're really asking for, and how to respond safely without creating tax fraud indicators if there's some sketchiness in your fact pattern. So what does Form 4564 really do? Well, 4564 documents what records the IRS requested, which tax years are involved, the issues that are under examination, at least initially, and the production deadline. It becomes the written record of what the examiner asked for and how you chose to respond. That makes it a critical strategic moment in any audit. Well, here's the best advice I could give you. Provide existing records, not reconstructions. The safest response is truthful, organized, and limited solely to records that actually exist. Whatever you do, don't backdate invoices. Don't rewrite ledgers. Don't alter QuickBooks entries. Don't invent after-the-fact mileage logs or create policy summaries that imply contemporaneous support where none existed originally. On the one hand, incomplete records can usually be managed in an audit, but fabricated records create incredible risk. So what are the common fraud indicators the IRS is looking for in an audit? Well, the IRS treats certain behaviors as tax fraud indicators. These include providing false invoices, submitting altered books and records, maintaining multiple sets of books, making false statements to an auditor, a felony in and of itself because they're a federal officer, and destruction of records after an audit begins. The danger starts to begin when a response in an audit appears engineered rather than truthful. Unfortunately, your representative can do this for you as well unknowingly. It's really important to control interviews and explanations if you're interviewed during an audit. Also, what your tax advisor has to say. Form 4564 may request not only documents, but interviews, in-person interviews, and written explanations. This is where many taxpayers talk too much or commit to narratives before the facts are fully reviewed, especially at the outset of an audit. Your explanation should be deliberate, accurate, and consistent with the documents you're going to provide. Criminal tax admissions by you or your advisor need to be avoided at all costs. And to tell you the truth, most advisors are not trained in criminal tax representation. So what are your rights during an audit? You have the right to retain a representative, including an attorney, a CPA, or an enrolled agent. If you've got problems in the underlying return, you've got a conflict of interest with the original preparer, do not hire them. In many situations, if you request representation while you're being interviewed, that interview could be suspended until your advisor is involved. You could fire the original advisor, but don't let the auditor see you do it. These protections matter because oral statements often become part of the evidentiary record. So what happens if you flat out ignore the IDR? Some tax advisors advise that if you are worried about getting caught cheating on that original return. That's obstruction of justice. Ignoring Form 4564 is rarely a good strategy. Late or incomplete responses can lead to delinquency notices, pre-summons letters, and eventually IRS summons that has court power behind it. The IDR is often your last clean opportunity to respond voluntarily before formal non-voluntary enforcement begins. So in closing, if you received an IRS Form 4564 and the request involves cash, bookkeeping gaps, reconstructed records, or documents you can't fully support, deductions you can't fully support, this is the stage to act carefully. At the Tax Law Office of David W. Klasing, our dual-licensed tax attorneys and CPAs help taxpayers respond strategically to information document requests, all the while minimizing civil and criminal tax exposure. Call 1-800-681-1295 or visit Klasing-Associates.com to schedule a confidential reduced-rate initial consultation today. To date, no client we have ever represented in an IRS or state audit has been criminally prosecuted for tax crimes. Call me today. You won't regret it. Dave Klasing, Tax Attorney, CPA.